So welcome back to the channel, everyone. This is Keith once again, and we're going to take our first look at the SAPPHIRE Nitro Plus RX 590. Now, one thing I want to get out of the way real quick before we look at the card itself is that the RX 590 is not a full new line on top of the 580. It's actually a beefed up version of the Polaris GPU. So we're still looking at 2,304 stream processors, but this time, thanks to the 12 nanometer architecture, or they're much more refined 14 nanometer, depending on how you want to look at it. We're looking at core clock speeds up to 1530 megahertz on this particular model, and the memory speed is up to 2100 megahertz or 8400 megatransfers per second effective rate. So let's take a look at this card and just what comes with it. So this is the box that the Nitro Plus RX 590 comes in. This is their special edition. Subsequently, right now it's their only edition, so that makes it quite interesting. So we've got the metallic blue shroud, which we'll look at that. It's got blue LED fans, interesting. Intelligent fan and precision fan control. So very much control, of course, the typical nomenclature that you would expect on that particular one, and then the product specifications down the back. But what we want to do first, more importantly, is actually look at the card itself. So let me go ahead and cut the seal and open that up, and well, there it is. There's a card. Wow, that was pretty straightforward. Of course, the installation CD showing the software, the Adrenaline Edition software logo on there. That's kind of cool. This is nice, and I wish more people would do this. It actually tells you right here what the BIOS switch is. So game 1, which comes in, is default. 2 is compute mode. That's interesting. So when switching over to the BIOS, it can maybe become stable. Ensure the BIOS settings are loaded in the system, blah, blah, blah. Graphics reinstallation is recommended. That's interesting. I've never thought to reinstall it because you changed the settings there. Warranty information, quick installation guide, and there, the card itself. Let's get it on out of it, and there we have it. It's metallic blue. That's quite the interesting decision by SAPPHIRE. It's very different, very unique. I like the clear fans, and they illuminate. So they illuminate from the hub, which makes them glow very nicely. So looking at the card on the back, you've got the standard SAPPHIRE fare. So you've got the DVI, 2 HDMIs, and 2 display ports. And I've actually got the RX 570 here. I want to sit next to it and see just how similar it is in the design. It looks very similar. In fact, they even have the same model number on the I/O, so that's kind of cool there. So get your black and your blue. I'll move this one out of the way. We'll look at it in just a second. So of course, down this side, you can see the beefy cooler inside there. You can see the large base plate and where the VRM's attached to the heatsink as well. You got your multi-fan header right there. And turning around to the back, it's wide open on the back. Plenty of airflow, lets it eject out the back there. The back plate is quite colorful, very bright blue. This blue is really, really, really bright. I do like that the vents are there for the PCB to breathe a little bit. So your BIOS switch is down here in this hole, and along this side you've got the 6 and the 8 pin, just like you had before. Speaking of before, this is again the 570. You can see that they are extremely similar in design. It's actually looks like they kept the cooler design from the 570, which did great on the 570. It's actually so far this one has been one of my favorite Polaris GPUs. It's the 4 gig 570, and it's just as fast as a reference RX 480 and a tier down, but it overclocks well. It's really, really quiet, and I really don't expect a whole lot of difference here. I expect this card to be very quiet because, like I said, this one, even though this one is clocked up, it has a different, not a fully different core architecture, but it is a refined Polaris 30 in here. This is Polaris 20 on the cut down variant. Wonder if these will crossfire together. That'll be interesting to look at. So that's the card itself. Let's jump out of this portion. So there you have it, guys. That is the RX 590 first look, at least the SAPPHIRE Nitro Plus variant. So we got this in the test bench, and we have some work to do. So we'll catch you back in a few days with the final results and let you know just what we think about this card. This has been Keith with WCCF Tech TV. Make sure that you're subscribed and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss the review when it goes live.